Good evening all and welcome back to another video and all hail the ale. Tonight we're going for another Titanic beer. It is this one, it's one I've not tried before. It is Rye IPA. And Rye IPA weighs in at 4% and it is described as being floral, golden and hoppy, which could be interesting because I'm not a huge fan of big floral flavours in some beers. There are some that I find that it's just a little bit overpowering and maybe just takes away from what is great in those beers. Remains to be seen about this one though. Not tried it. So what can I tell you? It says on here the tasting notes are our Rye IPA is crammed full of Amarillo and Eldorado hops. The clean flavours of the soft fruits and citrus balance with the rye perfectly. And the looks are described as orange pale. The aromas are slight citrus notes with floral undertones, and the taste even is described as a smooth blend of rye and citrus. And it's got a bitterness rating of IBU 30, so not heavy on the bittering. It's midway on the scale of 5, so that's 2.5, and 2.5 on the sweet as well. So you've got your little scale there, you can see with the tasting notes just down there. So what do I expect it to be like? I don't know, but we're going to find out right now. We're going to pour into my Stoke Beer Festival glass with Lemmy on the glass even. So let's try and balance things up so I don't pour it everywhere. The pour is exactly as promised, orangey pale. See if we can generate a bit of a head. Can we? Yeah, of course we can. So there we are. Let's get Lemmy front and centre. We've got a crystal clear, orangey, pale coloured beer, kind of verging on golden copper, with about a 1 finger white head that's reasonably compact and consistent. It's starting to fade, but it looks good. Let's have a whiff. Oh, there's a sweet caramel malt there. Not getting a huge amount of the floral, which for me is great, because I'm not a huge floral fan. Getting a little bit of the citrus, but mostly a nice caramel malt. It smells good. Let's have a taste. Cheers. It's nice. That is nice. It's a very well balanced IPA. They tend to be nice and hop forward, which I love, don't get me wrong. But this one, it's really, really well balanced. You've got a good malt presence. You've got a great hop presence as well. Subtle bitterness. That IBU rating of 30 is deserved. It's good. It plays nicely into the whole flavour profile. The rye is obvious. And I'm not getting a huge amount of floral, thankfully. It could just be everyone's taste buds are slightly different. I'm just not detecting it, and that's fine by me. You know, I've never been a floral flavour fan. Friends of mine that used to love the old lavender sweets. Can't stand them. But ironically, Parma violets I love. Anywho, this is a beer that's really, really exciting because you don't get IPAs that are that well balanced. They tend, like I say, to be hop forward. It's more of an autumnal thing, really. It's kind of verging on that kind of warmth, that kind of comforting drink. It's not a big in-your-face hoppy number. But don't get me wrong, it's hoppy, but it's not in-your-face and summery in that sense. I like it. I like that balance. I appreciate an IPA that is well crafted and that is something a little bit different from your regular run-of-the-mill IPA. And this offers that, you know. The body is good. There is a decent body to that. It's not thin in any way, shape or form. You're kind of just above medium. The mouthfeel is soft. Reasonable carbonation, and the finish That's where you get most of the bitterness. It starts out, by this beer's standards anyway, quite bitter, and then it fades slowly into that crystal malt that you get on the aroma in a big way. Nice. So before I glug it all and have nothing left to photograph, let's draw a bit of a conclusion. Rye IPA, what do I think of you? Would I buy you again? I would. I really would. Are you fulfilling your brief? Are you floral? No, but that's good to me. And floral is subjective, you know, that there is an element that perhaps some people could describe as floral. For me, it's not. I'm getting it more of a slightly perfumed hoppy note. And it is hoppy and it is golden. But what strikes me most is the exquisite balance. You know, you've got that perfect blend of malt and of hop. And in an IPA, that's quite a rare thing for me to find. They tend to be, like I say, and I've said it repeatedly throughout this video, and you're probably getting bored, they are normally very hop forward. And for good reason. You know, it's indicative of the style. It's what they were brewed originally for. The hops created that extra little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for, longevity in the beer to get it round to the East India Company. So yeah, I would rush out and buy it again. I would. Yeah, it's that tasty. It's slight citrus notes. Yes, I get the slight citrus notes. They are subtle. It's very subtle. It's a slight kind of pithy orange. The taste, a smooth blend of rye and citrus. Yeah, it is smooth. The bitterness of, so in the middle. Yes, it is. The sweetness, I get it. It's on the finish and it comes from the malt. And I really, really appreciate that. And yes, I like it a lot. Is it perfect? It's very rare you'll find me say that a beer is perfect, and this is no exception. There are things that I would change, but I dare say it fulfills a brewer's brief perfectly, and I appreciate it for what it is. I would like to see, what would I like to see? I don't know, but there's things I would change. I would perhaps just tweak more sweetness, a little bit more hop, perhaps dial back the malt a little bit, but you know, as it stands, it's lovely. I wouldn't change a whole heap, so I'm going to give Rye IPA 4.5 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet. So yes, decent beer. So if you've tried it, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't and you're going to, I look forward to finding out what you think of the beer. And as always, there are the like, dislike, comment and subscribe buttons down below. Use any combination of them as you wish. I'm going to go and thoroughly enjoy the rest of this beer and leave you with this. This has been The Beer. I've been Nick and I will see you again soon for another video.